Greetings there. Another Sunday day where I want to chat while I massage my scalp. And if you're wondering what I use to massage my scalp, a mist bottle and coconut oil. So let's start this rendition. You know something, bro? Can you say you live life if you never felt pain? Huh? Can you say you live life if you have never felt pain? And that's the question. Many people say, yeah, man, I'm a top sea sailor. I am. I'm the top sailor of the sea. But they never gone through storms. But they never been through trials and tribulations. But they never ascended to new heights and faced themselves during those moments. So, given that, are those claims valid? Would you claim that a businessman that has made zero profit is legit? I don't think so, man. And with that being the case, I realize all things that are happening to me in my life are happening for me in my development. The pain, the sorrow, the tears. Like I'm some old African Nigerian movie actor. You ever seen those movies? And now I realize this though, on a serious note. If I'm meant to be a guide, a teacher for those that come after me, I have to have some wisdom to share, which comes from life experiences, which comes from sometimes slipping up and feeling some pain. You heard the bird? And my intention is only to share. My intention is only to share. Share this information, share this wisdom, share this knowledge. And if it's well received, so be it. And now I'm seeing that you must be a little more, what's the word? Is it ruthless? Not ruthless, a little more sharp. You know what I'm saying? A little more intuitive, An animal that I resonate deeply with is the over-melanated panther or the black panther. I'm like, wow, this animal is a solitary hunter. They move in the shadows. They have their beautiful, sleek skin, and they hide in the dark and strike with ambush when necessary. And I'm seeing now, I'm more that than lion. Yes, I have locks in my head, so I have presence. Yeah. But that panther energy is definitely, that black panther energy is definitely the energy I see myself move with more than before. The observe, the watch and see, the peep their actions and see where they're coming from. And when I have that level of watchy, as Jamaican people say, you learn a lot. I realize, let me share a story. I recently went to a health lecture in this Christian Chinese community church. Imagine a Christian church with all Chinese people. And there was a man in there, an older gentleman. He came with a fedora, shades on, sat in the back. And I said, this guy's interesting. And when I observed him, I realized something. This guy, he's different. So when we took a group photo at the end, the older gentleman stood next to me. And he said, hey, young man, I like your hat. The hat I normally wear, you'll see soon. And I said, thank you. And I said, I like your hat too. You keep a very low profile. I said, yeah, life is better when you keep a low profile, when you don't make noise. Because everyone wants to be like, I'm alpha. My genitals are longer. And once you realize that many people operate in this very competitive mind frame all the time, because understand, there's some competition out there. But if that's your identity, you just compete to sleep. I gotta win. Well, I'm a little concerned. I realize the benefit of laying low. If I had a choice of being a famously known rich person or an unknown rich person, I'll choose option number 2 today, and I've chosen it. That's why the name of the channel is Sage King Tales. This is like the hidden lore and story of the Sage King. The sage has a spiritual wisdom, the spiritual understanding, the mysticism tied to them, and the king has the worldly riches and resources combined into one individual, Sage King. That's why that name resonates with me. And every person has their alter ego, man, you know? Like, every person has that alter ego. And who am I to not have an alter ego? Who am I not to have an alter ego, you know? And I'm realizing, touch. Every experience is teaching you to detach more. In a variety of religious and spiritual traditions, they say, do the work. Don't expect the fruits of the work. And when I understand do the work, don't expect the fruits, I understand that we're meant to live this life, yes? We're meant to live it. But we're not meant to be attached to the outcomes that happen from living this life. And it may be paradoxical because how can a person that's concerned with material ascension be detached from it? That's like anything. If you're baking a cake and you hope that it comes out good enough to cook, but it doesn't, you still did the work though. Or let's say you bake the cake and it comes out superb, but then a bunch of little kids in your family say, hey, I want some cake. You give them 7 out of 8 slices and you have the last slice for yourself. You still ate of your labor, but that was not the intention. And I'm realizing now, you must be able to eat off your intention only when you detach from the outcome, because you will be fed naturally by doing the work that is meant for you to do. That's how real it is. And I understand now. The solitary isolation of life is meant for me. Yeah, I am meant to be seen. People have to see the G, you know? What value is the G in the room? Like, hey there, can you see me? You know, you have to be seen 100%, and I get it, it's fine. What I'm noticing is how you go about being seen. If I write on my to-do list, make sure gal them, man them, see me. Sure, but you don't really control that. What you should focus on rather is make sure they see me for me just being me. I'm like, put on the shirt. Look at me, I'm a cool guy. Tattoo my head. Famous. And I'm realizing you have to just be that person. I'm like, are they watching? You know? Are they watching me? Are they looking at me? With that understanding, you have a level of detachment from the process. You're not like, oh yes, they have to see me. They have to. The sun just shines, man. It doesn't hope that Saturn sees it, or the sun, or Jupiter sees it, or Earth acknowledges it, or Venus likes its flames, you know? So this brief talk today is about understanding everything is here to serve you in its own way. But in addition to that, what is your temperament like? And live associated to your temperament. Ooh, that's the title. Thumbnail right here. Live associated to your temperament. That will serve you the best.